What the Shib? In the last week, Shiba whales have scooped up a 100 billion tokens. One whale today bought 28 billion Shib tokens, bringing that whale's total stash to about 1.2 trillion Shiba Inu tokens. As of 2 p.m. today, the token was down 2% on the 24-hour, 2% on the 7-day, and 2% on the 14-day. Wow, that's kind of strange. Gareth, in your opinion, can the whales move that price in a serious way, or is that market cap just too big?
Oh man, I mean, considering what you just said, and the price hasn't moved, I'd be a little concerned. I mean, why when these whales are buying, isn't price getting a little bit of a boost here? The only thing, again, I just go back to the charts here, and I'd watch for support. So if you're a technical trader and you're looking where to buy it, I would say right here, which is right around 0.0003072. This pivot point right over here. But again, I think you have to be concerned. Why isn't it getting a bounce? Why when you have these whales buying, it's not really pushing up. So I'd be a little concerned that it's going to go a little lower before it finds some traction.
Absolutely. Marin, now, do you think this meme token will ever have broad traditional crypto investor support?
As weird as it sounds, I do think so, because I think that similar to blue chip NFTs that are collectibles, that saying that you were an early holder in Shib in years or decades when meme coins are not only I don't want to say more valid of an asset class, because we can, disagree on what valid means in this case, but a more established asset class as crypto grows and as there is, the development of meme coins, and that is just a group of investments, that saying that you own Shib, I feel like that'll be kind of I don't want to say like owning Bitcoin versus anything else that's a competitor for a reserve asset, given like Litecoin or Monero or anything else that kind of went off the cuff of Bitcoin. But I do think in a divergent way, not for its original use case, which is non-existent, not for anything built on top of it, if that's ever happening, which I don't know, I'm hesitant of. I think just literally like the nostalgia and the being able to say that you owned it early. I mean, for example, that guy who I think he bought either 5 or 8K and now it's a few billion, that being able to say that you did that is a different level of notoriety.
Now, do you think that the notoriety of the example that you just gave with Shib, do you think that will outweigh the notoriety, or at least the popularity that, like with Dogecoin, how kind of that really played that whole meme culture for several years, but it almost feels like it's getting replaced by Shib. Now, do you feel that as well?
I feel like they're a bit different. I don't know if I have enough skin in the game in the meme coin space to be able to make a really intelligent call about this, but I would say that they're different in the way that Doge will always be the OG. But Doge also was initially, literally used for payments because it was faster and easier than Bitcoin. And Shib was created off the cuff of Doge to be like, oh, you missed out on Doge. Here's maybe the first ever really intentional replacement that was taken seriously. So I think they're different in the way that Doge was, this couldn't happen and then it did. And then Shib was this hyperbole of it. So I could see it ending up differently. I no longer really see them as competitors, even though the meme space could be correlated. I see them as, different. I don't even want to say.
I think we just lost her. Yep. Sorry, Marin. If you are still with us, we will get back to you once we see that you're back. But to move on.
I think I'm back. Yeah.
Oh,
sorry about that. I don't know what just happened. Yeah.
All right, cool.
You froze perfectly.
I think you keep freezing. It's that Miami internet. I know we tried to do several live streams from Miami. It is just not strong enough.
I wonder if it's the wind, or I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I noticed that it got particularly cold. So, yeah.
Interesting. Well, we will move on. Thank you for your answer there, Marin. Let's see, Joe. Is Shib being in the top 10 a good sign for crypto or a bad sign?
I honestly believe that a lot of people are not liking Shib being that high, but you have to give it credit where credit is due. And I think that whales are buying this for a reason. Now, one of those reasons, and they made a news article about this, and all the buzz about why Shib was actually pumping as high as it was because it was supposed to be listed on Robinhood. And then if that was going to happen, that was going to be like this monstrous moment. Well, Robinhood kind of came back and said, we don't know if we need it here. And then the price, well, naturally kind of didn't go as high as everyone thought it was going to go, right? It's definitely been retracing. And as Gareth noted, we're getting very close to that 0.003 mark, right? And so from a technical perspective, the whole goal of cryptocurrency is to buy low and sell high. Also, a lot of people haven't really done their research with Shib. And I don't claim to be this like Shib master or somebody who's done like, tons and tons of research on it, but I've done enough to know that there's a lot more going on with this cryptocurrency than just, oh, it's a meme coin that's going to pump to the moon. There's an entire ecosystem. There's tons of other coins. You have the Bone coin, you have the Leash coin, you have the Shiba Swap, right? So you have a ton of liquidity over there. Like there's a lot going on. There's a lot of development. And I do believe that Shib is good for crypto because of all of the new people that are now exposed to crypto. And also those Shiba gains, sometimes they trickle down into other cryptocurrencies. And one of those cryptocurrencies could be one of your top 10 coins that is now starting to move, right? And so to me, we want more and more people to join. If they join through Doge or Shiba or however they get there, that could be their entry point. Fantastic. And then from there, it's our job here to educate them, to continue to share with them other opportunities and possibilities. And I do believe that Shib, even, is it too high in the top 10? Maybe. But again, you got to give it credit where credit is due. And I'm definitely one of those people that I see what's going on over there. And I think that it's got up there for a reason. So hats off to them.
Absolutely. And I love what you said there, Joe, to be honest with you, because I think that that's maybe one of the most important takeaways of kind of your point on the whole thing was, if it brings people into the space, if that's what drives the mass adoption and gets someone into crypto, obviously you're going to get in and then you're going to start learning. And like you said, that's going to trickle down. You'll learn more, you start watching your videos, Garrett's videos, Stash's videos, Marin's videos, and then you'll learn more about crypto, and then you'll find other assets to get into, and then you'll start, participating in the larger cap coins, stuff like that. But great point. It is a great entryway to get people into the space. It's going to be gaming and meme coins. All right, Stash. Next question's for you. Now, you've got a lot. I'm sure you saw a big uptick in your subscriber count this year. And if speaking to some of the newer people, and kind of, you could probably play off on what we just were talking about with Joe, but what is your meme coin advice to the newer crypto investors?
Don't do it. Okay, what I'll say right here is that, Joe, I love you, man, but I think that what you just said was the exact opposite of how I feel. I think that, when you see these meme coins, there is some, validity to them because there's some community behind it. But I have seen better shit coins come and go in this market over the last 5 years than what Shib has done and what they've thrown up there. And they're only doing that because it pumps so hard. If this coin hadn't pumped, no one would be trying to build anything on top of Shiba. No one would care. And I think that this is a coin that is not going to last the test of time in any kind of way, shape, and form. There are tons of other great coins out there that have way more utility, are going to be used for far more than this, crappy coin that, like I said, just kind of made it to the top 10 here somehow, mostly pump and dump. When you talk about, someone must have, yeah, because they're pumping and dumping this coin to get to this point. So it's kind of a lot what that happened with Doge as well. I at least respect Doge because they were the OGs doing this, and they really built a big community over time doing it. Have you guys ever made a Xerox copy of a Xerox copy? It doesn't work out that good in the long run. I'm going to tell you that right now. And if that's your first experience in crypto, I feel bad, man. Because as much as you think, oh, anything that brings them in, like, well, yeah, there's scammers that bring people into crypto too. Is that a good thing just because they're here now? It's not. And so what happens is it's going to disillusion a lot of people. If that's your first experience is with Shiba, you may not come back. You may not go and invest in anything else. Maybe you lose all of your money in it. And then you also don't really understand the ethos of crypto, which I think is an incredibly important part of what we're doing here. It's not about shit coins and memes. That's a fun little side, effect of what we have. There is a lot of important things actually going on here. And if that's the only thing you take from crypto, then I feel sorry for you.
Well, what about the people
right,
that
so
bought?
I gotta
in there,
defend
Joe.
this here real quick.
Bring it! Bring it! Bring it!
So look, I totally see your side here, Stash, and you're not wrong with what you said, 100%. But I will say this, will there be winners and losers in crypto? Yes, absolutely. But we can't discredit, and I feel like there was maybe a little bit of discrediting of what Shib has done. right? Is it the best fundamental, technically sound, amazing cryptocurrency? Absolutely not. But I meet so many people today that talk about Shib and they're like, I know crypto because of that. And it's like, okay, we get that, you know, maybe there's better opportunities, but we know that because we've been here for years. We know and we've had that experience, right? And so for new people, how do we expect them, you know, are we expecting them to just like all of a sudden hear about like, you know, the most technically sound amazing coin out of nowhere? It's like, no, because that's not what is, you know, driving the views. That's not what's getting the clicks. That's not what's getting people in the door. And so,
Right,
like I
it's
said, I
clickbait.
agree
That's
with
that's the problem. Is it becomes a clickbait coin. Just like any other good clickbait. It's like, oh, we got you. You know, we got you with our little dog meme. There's not much to it, but we got you in. And I understand, yes, it's going to drive people coming into the space, but not in a way that is the most positive. I'm not saying, oh, they're going to jump in and find the most technical coin, but I don't think it's something that, you know, really drives it in a positive way, because that's what they think crypto is. They just think it's memes and dog coins. And that to me is not a good way of coming into the space. I mean,
Gareth, pop in. What you got?
Yeah.
Just to jump in, you know, what Stash is saying, there's something that rings with me is that, you know, I'm dating myself a little bit, but going back to the late 90s, there were the dot-coms, right? And everyone piled into these things, and then they got wiped out. Only a few survived, and those thrived, like I think Bitcoin and Ether will thrive. But you lost investors all the way to 2007. There was like this almost decade where investors, a lot of the smaller investors, got so burned, they stayed out of the market. Well, then they come in 2007, and in 2008, the same thing happens again. And they didn't come back until like 2019, 2020, when COVID struck. Then they all came back in. And again, I think the point Stash is making is that you don't want people buying the crap and then getting wiped out and then staying away from crypto for a decade because of it, because then that hurts the crypto sector.
But what so then what is coming? Like we were just talking about. That bear market is coming, right? So the cycle will be up eventually, and these people who are buying Shib at the top right now, thinking they're geniuses and then it's amazing, they're going to get dumped on by all these whales who are pumping the price, like we were just talking about. How Gareth was saying, hey, these people are buying billions of dollars of Shib. Well, who do you think they're going to dump on, Joe? Who do you think those whales are going to dump that Shib on? All those noobs that are piling into Shib on through TikTok, who have no idea what's going on, and they're going to be the bag holders at the end.
Okay, but that you could say that too for almost any other crypto as well. You can say that for Bitcoin, right? I mean, you 100%. Really could. Somebody bought Bitcoin at 69,000. Maybe it was a new person. Maybe they didn't buy Shib, but somebody did.
But it's not as manipulated. It's not as manipulated in the same type of way. Especially when you have such large bag holders.
I would call BS on that, man. I think Bitcoin is one of the most heavily manipulated coins.
Yeah, as like my main audience and like who I'm catering to being like TikTok kids, I've definitely seen the gamut of this. Like this is directly what I deal with, and people asking me about like from the new kids to older people who still watch me and are more seasoned investors. There are legitimate investment strategies that would involve meme coins. I'm going to be honest. At first I was like, obviously like, what the hell? Like this is just a zero-sum game. Like this sucks. However, like I've actually made videos about this, that the two strategies that I've used are either put something in a well-known meme coin when it dumps, wait for it to run up when there's peak euphoria, easy like 10x or some shit like that. Also, you could do what I did back in summer 2020, which was trading BSC meme coins. You get no sleep. It's hell. I don't recommend it, but I did contribute a fair amount to like buying a property just straight through meme coins. And I think that you can make the argument that you will get dumped on and wronged by larger investors in pretty much any asset class. I think of it as a short-term burn for a lot of these people, and I'm open about that. I say, put $100 into this. Do not put your life saving idiotic, but have fun. And if that is your entry into dipping your toe into the market, that is a net positive long-term. And honestly, I see much more laughter at, I put in $100, it is $10 today, what the hell happened? I see much more like lightheartedness. I do not think the majority of these investors who are losing money in this are getting severely burned. They mostly have a bad taste in their mouth, and they're like, well, what's more serious out there? And I'm saying this after like millions of people that I'm seeing doing this. So net positive. I do think short term. I'm literally open about it. I'm like, most of you are going to get fucking burned. You're going to keep thinking that you should never sell. It's going to be a joke. Do not put in more than you're willing to lose. But like net, it's a positive, I think, long term.